public. I have 7 things actually to your attention for this meeting. First and foremost, King Goldman is in the audience, and I believe his wife Tanika is here as well, and I've been told it's actually her birthday, so any wife that's coming out to a board meeting on her birthday deserves an honor and accolade beyond what we're giving out to everybody else today. But I'd like to call Mr. King Goldman to just illustrate to you, as we've done government citizens academies and had the graduation speaker. We're thinking, and I think it's a very good idea to have actually our Citizen Police Academy graduates also come before the board as a representative graduate speaker. And he has some remarks about his experience during the academy. Mr. Goldman.
Good evening. Thank you guys for having me here. I just want to say to Chair Lady and the chair, the board, again, thank you guys for having me here. My journey started with, we've all seen the footage of Mr. George Floyd and how he met his demise. And when seeing that, you know, that it creates this impetus in you to, you have to be part of the change. I recognize that the progression that we've made thus far was really based on some of the things that my grandparents had done, you know, and those are predecessors. And I'm a 42-year-old gentleman, and I recognized at that point that I really hadn't done anything to be actively involved. I really hadn't supported different missions with funds, nor had I brought myself to the table. And as I was as I was processing these things with my pastor, Pastor Sean Franco, and I really began to feel like, oh, I need to get involved in the police precinct, because there's a perception in the community that the precincts and the courtrooms are collaborating to protect folk that's not honoring the integrity of the badge. And with that, Pastor Franco introduced me to something that Mr. Jim Holland had put together over at the Nazarene Church with the faith leaders as well as the police. And at that point, I went there, and in that meeting, which was a great meeting, I met Dr. Katz. And prior to meeting Dr. Katz, I had sent a letter to him and to ask for a conversation. And we had a conversation subsequent to that meeting, and then, you know, he talked to me about the police academy, the Citizens Academy. Went to the academy. We started with something phenomenal, right? Captain or Mr. Rogers, he started the program with the lights being turned out. He took out his phone, and there was illumination. Then he asked all the officers to take out their phone, and then there was illumination. Then he asked us participants to take out our phones and turn on the flashlight. Then there was more illumination. And that was the idea, was that, yo, if we all participate, if we all come in here together, we'll do and shine light on something that only one person can't do. You know what I mean? So that was how we started. I would have you to know that we were all safe. We were masked up. We were socially distanced. None of our health was compromised upon entering the building. We had to have the thermometer scan, so we passed those things. And then we just learned about the police department, right? It was just unveiling, because as a citizen, you see the cars, right? But you don't know the police department. Say the police, but you don't know it. And what we learned is that this is an entity that's part of our community, that's with people that care about the community. One thing that Dr. Cass always says is that, yo, we live here. We're not just here working. We live in this community, so we want to be safe. And what we found out, man, was that from SWAT to, one of the greatest things, right, is this pipeline about this service age, right? So those persons who are not eligible to be police officers because they're not 21 yet, like, you can start at 18 and be a service aide, and it's like a pipeline, you know, to be an officer. Awesome. And it's intentional, right? It's an intentional recruiting of different ethnic groups, you know, to be a part of that. So we did that. Man, we learned from resource officers to SWAT. Again, so many departments, right? So, again, as a citizen, you don't know about all this, right? SWAT, you see it on TV, but you don't really know about what's going on. So it was great. Now, here's it. This every citizen, man, if you have the opportunity, you can go through this simulation, right? They got a simulation thing that's called Milo. That's great in itself, right? But then we had to go through the scenarios, the same scenarios that the officers go through. Man, that'll break you. That will break you. Listen, I wasn't against officers or anything, you know. I'm about, you know, community building. But going through these scenarios, you understand that being a person on the couch, you really don't understand. When you see these little bits of what's happening in the news, it's only a fragment. Because I went through the scenario, and you know from the jump that the scenario, nobody's going to get hurt. You know this, that no one's going to get hurt. However, when the stress of that moment sit on you, you have decisions to make. The first scenario, I don't want to blow it because you guys may go, right? But the first scenario, it was rough. I'm going to just tell you that it was a person that was having a mental health crisis. In that scenario, I got shot. I got shot in the scenario, right? And so you hit it. And then there's another surprise in this. I ain't going to try to blow it. There's another surprise in the scenario. And all I could think about, although this was a play thing, all I could think about was self-preservation. And so I made decisions. And after I finished the scenario, man, I'm in tears and everything, man. I'm broke, right? And so I'm going home, I'm crying to my wife, I'm processing. It's just, I'm a mess, man, like 2 or 3 days after these scenarios, right? And so, but I recognized in processing, I made decisions. But just because I made decisions based on what I was feeling, it doesn't mean that I was right. I never tried to help. I never tried to serve. I tried to preserve my life. It was definitely it was an eye-opening experience, man. It gives you more of an empathetic posture toward these men and ladies that serve in our community like this. It's an amazing thing. But the academy was just rich. I mean, excuse me, all the officers, man. Again, y'all know the officers. They people, you know what I mean? We're building. We could, the culmination of the academy for me, I ended it with the ride-along. And the ride-along, I did a 4-hour shift with Abshire, great guy, you know, Justin Abshire. Did a ride-along, and that was great, right? Because, again, only on TV you see certain things, right? So first thing we get on the shift is a 911 hang-up, right? So you got to go investigate that. So we go investigate that. As soon as we finish that, we get a call that we got a cardiac arrest. So here's the lights. Man, I ain't gonna tell you how fast it was going, but we was moving, Jack. We was moving. So the lights come, and man, I'm like, man, people don't get out the way. Like, they wait till the last minute and man, come on, man, get out the way, man. We got things to do. We trying to save lives around here. So we ended with that, man. And just, I would say to the board, if there's ever a place where, you know, just to say that, hey, the police are serving the community, I would say definitely let's keep the Citizens Academy. I mean, I think the scenarios were new to the academy this year. Definitely keep the scenarios, Dr. Katz. That'll change your life for real. Again, I'm grateful for him. We have subsequent conversations to have, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my experience with you guys. So thank you.
Madam Chair.
Any questions or anything for me?
If I can comment, what a powerful testimony, King, and thank you for coming here and giving it to us. Mr. Engel and I were in the Thursday class going through these same scenarios that you went through, and I agree with your assessment completely. This is a life-changing situation when you have to make those split-second decisions. And but I want to say and commend you for your openness and to have understanding, just as we all want to be during this time, right? We all want to be open to ideas. We all want to be open to understanding. And you taking the commitment to go through this course shows that you're a quality individual and person that we cherish as a community. So God bless you, and God bless your family, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Madam Chair. So I don't know if you know, but I was a police officer here in Chesterfield County for 32 years.
Good gracious.
And earlier in the conversation we had earlier in the earlier meeting, one of the things I talked about was how fantastic a community we live in, how fantastic the people are. Because that's why the officers are here. We're here to serve the people. And I think you'd be an awesome spokesperson for the Citizens Police Academy. So, Colonel, you might want to get him to do a promo video for you. And I used to teach that academy years ago.
He just did one, Kevin. He just-
We'll push it out on Facebook Live or something later. But I'm glad that you attended. I'm glad that you enjoyed the experience. Continue with your ride-alongs, because, now that you've graduated, you can go out and continue to ride-alongs with the program, get to know more officers, and really get to give that input back to your friends and family, and hopefully your family will consider going through as well. So
Hey.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say, taking the time to come out here, not just to serve in the academy, but taking the time to come share this experience with us, the timing was perfect for the perspective of us looking earlier today in our work session, talking about what we were going to do to really support our public safety folks and make sure that, that they're compensated fairly and that there's attention being paid to that. But I have to fast forward. Is this a special day within your family today by some chance?
Yes, this lady to my right, to whom I've been married to 18 years, it's her birthday today. Hey!
Well, I think somebody whispered that in my ear, and so we wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. And I have to say that the fact that you came with him tonight on your birthday, when many of us could be thinking of something a lot different and more fun to be doing, but as a family, to come support this message in our community, thank you all very, very much. And I hope that you leave here and go enjoy a wonderful evening of celebration for your birthday. So happy birthday from all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Happy birthday to you, and thanks for sharing. And please share that with your friends and the community as well, so that they might know your experience. And I'm going to do a little song from Happy Birthday to Ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Stevie Wonder version, by the way.
That is. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That wasn't bad, Jim. That wasn't bad, man.
As a fellow alumni, I feel everything you said. I appreciate your comments, and you might want to challenge your wife to go through the academy as well, so she could come home and tell you how it went, because you might enjoy that.
Man, that's, yeah. It's rough, man. We'll continue there on. Thank you guys for your service. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We can go out the door?